Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Manya and this is episode 3 of my series, Take Charge. Now in episode 1, we discussed eliminating the word should from your vocabulary, and in episode 2, we talked about doing hard things. I will link both of those videos and in fact the entire playlist below. In this episode, I want to give you tips on how to own a room. Now, first of all, what do I mean by owning a room? Well, ultimately, it's a tool for having your voice heard. Connect with others and be that person that everyone wants to talk to. You know that person. She's the one who, when she walks into a room, everyone sort of looks up and hopes that she'll sit next to them. You can feel that energy when she walks into a room. Now, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking that you are not that person and you never can be that person. I don't actually accept that. I think it's vitally important that you think that you can be that person. I know that this is a common problem for many people. Either you aren't sure how to talk to other people, you think you hate small talk, and believe me, I hate small talk too, but it is absolutely necessary for this exercise. You're worried that people might judge you, or you're shy. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you can't own the room. But this belief that you can't be that person, that you don't have a voice, that you can't own a room is, and I'm just guessing here, what keeps you from actually trying new things. It's what keeps you from going to those social events or those meetings where you actually want to have a voice. I want to remind you, and this is really important that you embody this, that your opinion matters and your voice matters. People may not know it yet, but they want to hear from you. So owning the room is for any situation, albeit work, social, or even something like a homeowners association meeting, a PTA meeting, a neighborhood association meeting, anything where there's an opportunity for you to meet a new person or have a voice. Tip number 1 is I want you to walk into a room and assess the situation within the first 5 to 10 seconds. That might mean that you cross the threshold and you stop. Now make sure there aren't people behind you. Step to the side, but wait a minute. What I see are a lot of people walking into a room with their head down and heading all the way to the back and just sitting down and pulling out their phone and hoping no one notices them. This can apply to any room that you enter. You want to see if you can assess the vibe and the mood. So for example, is everyone sitting independently and on their phones not talking? Is there a group conversation happening? Are there small groups of people talking just in their small groups? What looks the most appealing to you? What situation do you want to be in? Now, I'll offer some thoughts. If there's a group conversation, so everyone's looking at each other and there's a group conversation, I would just go in and take a seat and listen. But the opportunity is when everyone's sitting looking at their own phones, or there are small groups of 2, 3, or 4 people. In that situation, both of those, the phone or the small groups, you get to choose what situation you want to be in. And you know who you want to talk to. You can assess very quickly if you just take away the judgment that, oh, I shouldn't be judging people based on their clothes or how they look or who they are. Take all that away and just go sit with who you want to sit with. I know it's scary. Pull a chair over and sit with the group you want to sit with. And just wait. For the most part, people are welcoming. They will include you. They'll give you a look. They'll make space for you. I want you to sit in the middle of the action because you want to be a part of the action. That's how you talk to people and make friends, as scary as it is. Remember that most people are very shy and they want someone else to talk first. You need to talk first, especially in a situation where everyone's on their phone or most people are not talking. Pick someone and go sit next to them and talk first. Get out of your own head. You can do this because everyone is nervous and shy. I have seen two people many times sit next to each other, staring at their phones and never talking. That is not how you make friends. That is not how you connect. If your goal is to make a new friend, to be well liked at work, or make change, words have to come out of your mouth. There's no other way around it. You cannot wait for the other person. So, what do you say? Well, it doesn't really matter what you say. People like to talk about themselves. The goal here is not for you to sit down and start spewing words at another person, because what they want is for you to talk to them. They want to talk about themselves, whether they know it or not. So what I want you to do is start by asking a question, something situationally appropriate. Don't bring up politics or money or something like that. Think about where you are. So here are some examples. Let's say you're at a PTA meeting. A very simple question is, what ages are your kids? What grades are they in? How many kids do you have? What are their names? Are they a boy or a girl? That kind of thing. At a homeowners association meeting or a neighborhood association meeting, where in the neighborhood do you live? Oh, I live around the corner from you. Do you like where you live? What floor plan did you choose if you're in one of those new HOAs? Or what year was your house built? How many bedrooms does it have? Don't be creepy, but you can ask a lot of questions because you're in an environment where it's safe to do so. At work, it depends if you know the person or you don't. Let's say you know them. How was your weekend? How is your wife? How is your husband? What are your plans for this upcoming weekend? Oh, you're going to so-and-so? I've been there. Let me tell you what I loved about it. Something like that. And then the tried and true, if you don't know anyone and you've never met the person, sit your little butt down and say, I don't think we've met. My name is Manya. I use that one more than anything else. I don't think we've met. It's so easy. And then whatever they say, ask another question. And ask another question. And at some point, they may ask you a question. Now, this can be very gendered in my experience. If it's a woman, they are more likely to get to asking you a question sooner than if they are a man. This is just my observation, that women naturally have a back and forth when they have conversations, whereas men push out information to each other and they don't ask a lot of questions. So if you're struggling, for example, if you're having a conversation with a man and he's just talking about himself, accept that and just share something. As hard as that can be, just go ahead and share something. Because you'll hit a point where the conversation just starts to flow, especially if you don't just sit there and think, what do I say next? What do I say next? What do I say next? That's not active listening. You need to be actually listening to what they're saying and responding to what they're saying, either with a shared story of your own or another question. And then you're off to the races and you're actually having a conversation with a stranger. I want you to consider speaking up and expressing your opinion, but you need to do it productively. We're not doing that very well right now in the United States. We're not expressing our opinions very productively, but that doesn't mean that you have to go down that path. But it is very important, in my opinion, that you express what you want and believe, especially in certain situations where you want to impact change. But I want you to do it in a calm and productive manner. Try phrases like, I agree with some of what Mike is saying, but I also think that... or, I love the spirit we have in this room. I am so glad that we can express differing opinions. It is clear to me that we all care about our kids' well-being, but let me offer a different perspective. Something like that. You have to show courage to express your opinion. You are not going into a social situation waiting to see if someone else wants to be your friend. You're going in deciding if you want to be their friend. And that is a very different way of approaching friendship than be my friend, and just passively sitting there and waiting for someone to like you. This is a job interview. You're interviewing people to see if you want to be friends with them. Who cares if they like you or they don't like you? I know that's very hard because we sit thinking people are judging us. But I want you to listen hard to what they are saying. See if they are the kind of person that you want to give your valuable time to. And if not, move on. But because you went into that room, remember back to tip 1, you went into the room and you assessed the room, you know that if that person you're talking to isn't the right one, you can just say, gosh, it's been really great meeting you. I'm going to move on and talk to some other people, but thank you so much for giving me your time. And you know exactly where you want to move on to because you already assessed the room. It is entirely possible that you are the type of person that other people want to be with. Whether you believe it or not, it is possible. I promise you that charisma has nothing to do with looks or clothing or education or what job you have. We all get into our heads about meeting new people and worrying if they will like us. But I want you to consider that they would be lucky to be friends with you because you are amazing. You're amazing at something. Everyone is. And you need to go through this world trying to find the best people to be friends with you. And if you can walk into a room with that attitude and you can own the room, I promise you will attract the best people for you into your life. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know what tips I missed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.